This episode is presented to you by NFL Sunday Ticket, now on YouTube and YouTube TV. With NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube and YouTube TV, you can watch your favorite teams' out-of-market Sunday games, plus watch up to 4 games at once with Multiview. Don't miss the race to the playoffs. NFL Sunday Ticket is now just $39 when bundled with YouTube TV, where you get even more football. Visit youtube.com/Spotify offer to sign up now. Lowest price on YouTube TV with base plan. Rest of 2023 season. Terms and embargoes apply. No cancellations.
This ad is about AT&T's deal on the new iPhone 15 Pro, and it's real, guaranteed. That's not always the case with other ads.
The view of a lifetime.
Only with a pricey upgrade.
Breathe in to find inner peace.
Then pay extra to remove the ads. At AT&T, we mean what we say. Learn how to get iPhone 15 Pro with titanium on us with eligible trade-in. Guaranteed. Connecting changes everything. AT&T.
See att.com/iPhone for details about the guaranteed trade-in promo for new and existing customers. Available for a limited time. Terms and restrictions apply.
Distractions happen. So the new fully electric Volvo EX90 comes with a 2-sensor driver understanding system designed to help prevent distractions and keep you focused. Reserve yours today. Visit volvocars.com/US.
Hey, Brad, you know how Nationwide is more than an insurance company?
Yeah, they're one of America's largest financial services companies.
We get that in a song like Business Life Retirement.
Or Nationwide's there to protect.
I'm kind of the jingle guy.
Not sure I agree with that.
Well, I'm not sure I like your hat.
Well, that would never fit on you.
Products issued by Nationwide Life Insurance Company or Nationwide Life and Annuity Insurance Company. The general distributor for variable products is Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Anything to shake this monument. My football team's got me drinking.
We have Brian Budzinski, operating manager, whatever the right term is, owner, man about everything indoor soccer in Kansas City, and Kevin Ellis, indoor soccer player for the Kansas City Comets, former MLS player with Sporting Kansas City and Chicago and
DC.
Yeah. A local guy who basically has played every level of soccer that there is to play in the United States, right?
Sounds about right.
Obviously, we want to talk about the growth of MASL, how it's going, but there is really one big event that's coming up very soon for you guys, so I want to make sure we cover that right up front. You want to lead off, Bud?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I'll go for it anytime, we're playing Saturday night, T-Mobile Arena. It's a big day for the club and the organization. T-Mobile's one of the premier arenas in our entire country. It's an AEG property, seats 18,000 people, and we worked with the Sports Commission and the people at T-Mobile, and we're going to play a game, against Tacoma Stars. Looking forward to it. It's a nice way to showcase the game in front of a lot of eyeballs that are in town from all over the world. So it's going to be a good event. Ticket sales have been good. The opponent's going to be good. Our guys are ready. I mean, we've got one of the best teams in the league, and I'm proud of that. And I'm proud to be able to showcase that to a whole lot of people.
And the Comets are actually the best record in the league. They just finally lost their first game 2 games ago in St. Louis. Kind of shorthanded. A lot of players out for various reasons. But that's the only loss you guys have. You're 7-1. What's been the secret of you guys playing so well this year, Kevin?
I mean, I talked about this morning. I think everybody's bought into each other, right? The team's bought into each other. I think last year you could see the team was bought into Leo and what he was trying to accomplish, and I think finally this year we turned the corner and we've bought into each other. We know that each guy knows the role and responsibility that he's being asked to do. And, I mean, the level of player on our team is pretty ridiculous, I think.
I agree. It's I know I've talked with Brian about this before, but it's just like every player that you've added has been just another level, another quality player. Even if they're not going to be the first guy out there, they're right there.
But yeah, I mean that's a testament to these guys, right? Of finding those guys who are okay with that, right? And a lot of my career, I was okay with that. And I think that was a reason why I got to stick around the game for such a long time, because I was okay with being the guy that, hey, when you're asked or when you're called upon, you know your role, you know your responsibility, and you do it.
And I'm sure you were asked about this earlier in another podcast, but MASL is, you guys, everybody struggled last year with pandemic. Comets were one of the teams that played, made the playoffs, did pretty good. But you have added some new guys to the leadership of the league. JP Delacamera for communications, Shep Messing, Keith Tozer. These are some legendary people. How is that going? What's the vibe for the league going forward?
Well, I think first off, like the three names you just mentioned are three iconic names, in the sport of soccer in our country, right? And not for 3 years or 5 years. You're talking 30, 40 years plus. These are hierarchies, if you will, dignitaries of our game. Guys, a guy like Shep Messing, his resume is, it's going to be hard. It's hard to find people that have a resume to compare to his, and so for him to put his name on our league and to take charge of it, and guys like JP and Keith, and they all have their own areas they're focusing on. Shep is big picture business development, 100%, right? How do we grow the game? How do we get more exposure? How do we bring in additional revenue? Keith is operational, running the league, right? Nuts and bolts, if you will. Dealing with guys like me complaining about stuff. Our team lost on Friday, and Leo was as upset as I've ever heard Leo. Leo's our coach. Was as upset as I've ever heard him. He's got to field those calls. And then you have JP, who's setting up these types of interviews and the things with, from a marketing communication standpoint. And just like Jason Davis said, he goes, we probably wouldn't be talking about indoor soccer if it wasn't for guys like JP and Keith and Shep. And so they brought a whole new element of exposure, to our league. And I think I know what's coming down the pipe, right? Because I've seen the emails. And I think what you're going to see with our league in like the next 2 years is, it's going to be transformative.
For some of us old guys, we look back at, the old days of indoor soccer, you're filling huge arenas and stuff like that, and, went through some tough times. But what I see now is the growth of the league is not just, the players and the coaches and stuff like that, but it's the depth. We now have an MASL2 and an M3 where you're getting young guys that are playing it at a different level. You have several players on the Comets right now that have come from a second division team up to the first division of arena soccer. That's never been before, has it?
No, it hasn't. And what's nice is you can take, a player like Kevin Ellis, who has, a very distinguished resume, right, on the field. One of the first official, DA players, literally homegrown player out of, Kansas City. You can take somebody like Kevin and you can pair him, right, and you can put a roster together that's got maybe a young up-and-coming kid like a Benji, that came from the Wichita Wings in a level that's, a league that's below ours, and that creates that depth, right? And so that we're able to have just more players, right, at a higher level, and you got more guys to look at, right? And so, that's something that we embrace, right? We like to bring a bunch of talent and then let Leo figure it out and let the players figure it out and let them sort it out. But we just keep, we're not afraid to go grab a guy from a league below, and we're certainly not, you'll probably see some stuff here a little. We're not afraid to go get more guys from, quote unquote, up high as well, right?
You've got guys who played in MLS. You've got guys playing in Europe right now that are doing part-time gigs. You got guys that are coming out of the first or the second division in USL Championship. You are pulling guys from a lot of different places.
Listen, we've got, Kyle McCloggin, that was playing for us, another Kansas City player, just like Kevin, that grew up in this market. Kyle's going to play in Champions League qualifiers this summer, right, for his club, right? So Kyle's going to go from playing indoor soccer in the MASL to playing in a Champions League qualifier, this summertime. That's a testament to the level of our game right now.
Yeah. We got to make sure that when he's playing in those Champions League qualifiers that they mention that he played for the Comets in the offseason.
We'll work on that.
You mentioned Leo Gibson, a legend in indoor soccer, stepped up to be the head coach a couple years ago. What does a guy like that, the experience that he has in the indoor game, bring to the players, So, Kevin's a guy who's really super experienced but wasn't an indoor guy, but now, one of the studs in the league, obviously.
Well, you're kind to say that first. But, I mean, I was fortunate enough that I got to play indoor growing up. I played at the soccer dome, through the winters my whole life, and really loved the game.
I think I played you a couple times.
Yeah.
Seriously? And got your butt kicked.
Probably.
Probably not. But, I mean, coming into playing it at a professional level is completely different. Right? So, I mean, being fortunate to lean on guys like John Sosa, Leo Gibson, Stefan Stokic, right? And to watch the way that they approach the game. I mean, I remember on my first game I played, Kim was the coach. And I went after my first shift, and I was like, how do you read the ball off the wall? I have no idea what's going on. I think there were like 2 really good balls played to me, and they bounced, and I went the wrong way. I was like, how do you do this? And I think he was like, spend time with Leo. Watch Leo. And you watch Leo put his foot above his head and control a ball and bring it down and score goals. I mean, it's pretty special, some of the skills set that these guys have.
And that's my question, Kevin. Is Leo, when he gets out and plays with you in training, is he pretty cocky about it, or is he, how does he handle that coach-player relationship?
He handles it pretty well. I mean, we don't let him off the hook. When he steps on the field, he's a player, right? When the session stops, he's the coach, but he handles it well. I mean, he still does some things where you're like, you don't expect it anymore from him, and then he pulls it out, and you're like, how can he do that, right? So it's pretty cool to watch him play on a day in and day out basis, and then you watch him in the games, and the guy, wakes up out of bed and scores 3 goals, and I'm running around everywhere trying to be in the right spot to score 1, and this guy, casually scoring 3 goals a game. It's pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, he's an amazing player. I mean, he's 3 points away from the milestone in MASL of 400 points, competing with Frank Tayu.
How special would it be for him to get that this weekend in this game? So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't want to keep you guys too long because I know everybody's pretty busy and we got people waiting on the other side here.
Podcast row is bustling right now.
Yeah, we had a lull earlier, but we're busy now. KC Comets playing the Tacoma Stars this weekend. Former Comet on there, Danny Waltman. But Comets are been hot all year. The one loss was by 1 point, and a little controversy with that game. But Comets have been really good this year. They've been impressive to watch. Just player after player steps out, and the level doesn't drop. So you guys got to be pretty happy with how it's going.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've built a good team with a lot of depth, and I think we've got a great culture. That's the other part. Like we really do. And Kevin's been in a lot of locker rooms. I've been in a lot of locker rooms, but I mean, we've got a really good culture. I'm proud of it, and I think we built a team that's trying to win a championship this year. All the guys have bought into it, and these guys started work in the middle of summer, for a season that training camp didn't start till November 1st, and these guys are doing stuff in June. And then when I said doing stuff in June, this is just individual stuff. I mean, this is group stuff that they're trying. And so, I'm looking forward to seeing where we're going to be at, and we've had a specific plan, all season to be where we are. And so, I think it's only going to continue. And, I'm a fan myself, so I'm looking forward to watching it. I'll be there on Saturday myself, and I'll be cheering and screaming for him, and all our guys the whole entire time, just like my son will be doing. So it'll be exciting.
I got to give a shout out to Thad here. All this talk about the big game this weekend, and he didn't even mention the thing he's excited for the most, the halftime show. Or no, sorry, the national anthem at the beginning. There we go.
Yeah.
His daughter.
Are you singing?
Yeah, nobody wants me to sing, man. Not even my daughter. I sing along to Bad Country in the car. She's like, "Shut up, Dad." No, daughter's choir singing the national anthem before the game. So hopefully everybody shows up. Not for that, but if you do, don't boo the national anthem singers. I will get you. Anyway, good luck. It should be a fun game. I expect 10-3. Is that a pressure?
No pressure here.
Hat trick by Leo. Trick by Kevin.
That might be pushing it with me.
Did you have a hat trick earlier this year?
I've had a couple, I think.
Yeah. All right. You're climbing up that chart, but Leo's got a lead.
He does.
Impressive guy, but a lot of impressive players on this team. Any last words before we let you go?
We're looking forward to seeing everybody Saturday night. It's going to be pretty special.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having us on.
All right, thanks. Guys.